What's up, Koopalings? This is Rich. I'm here with Audrey.
Hey, everyone.
Audrey, I'm crying tears of joy today.
Yeah,
Do you know why?
giant tears of surprise and
Nintendo
joy.
joy. We have Wii U games.
We had a little mini E3 this morning, and
Yeah.
it was a lot better than our actual E3, as
The
it
last
turns
two
out.
E3s put together, actually.
Combined with the third one on top.
So yeah, you can check out all the news on IGN, but what we wanted to do is talk a little bit about sort of our thoughts on all the announcements that Nintendo made. I mean, they brought, I think it was about close to a dozen major announcements.
They brought the big guns,
What
too.
what stood out to you?
Honestly, the fact that they brought 2 HD Zelda games, that blew my mind. I was not expecting that so soon. We all knew that they were coming, obviously, but not only the first truly high-definition Zelda, but also a remake of Wind Waker.
Surprise, folks, she's really excited for Zelda.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
I didn't see that one coming.
Anyway.
So yeah, I mean, I guess what stood out for me, actually, and this is going to sound weird given everything that they announced, but the Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei crossover is really exciting to me. Not as much for the game, although I am a big fan of Fire Emblem and I'm really enjoying the 3DS game right now. It's more what Satoru Iwata said, sort of the game represents, which is their focus on collaborations and the fact that development is getting so big for games now that Nintendo needs to find partners to work with. And I'm not saying that I need every game to be a crossover, as much as a Mega Man Cross Metroid might be kind of interesting. But I just think that it shows that Nintendo is being very logical and smart about upcoming HD development. And you look at Smash Brothers and they're working with Namco and they're finding people that not only know HD systems already, but then they're just finding logical ways to find other studios to team up with. And I think it's really exciting. And I mean, you think of Fire Emblem and Shin Megami and they seem like they're strange, but then you look at something like Nobunaga and Pokemon, and that worked out pretty well for Pokemon Company.
It worked out better than you really thought of. Yeah, it really shows you they're changing their mindset, moving into the HD generation, which is something that needed to happen. So
yeah, exactly. They're being very, very thoughtful about how they do this. The second thing I would point out is, we've been saying this for weeks and weeks and weeks on MVC and elsewhere, but the sort of E3 trilogy of sorts. So they announced that a 3D Mario game from EAD Tokyo, Mario Kart from some EAD studio, and then Smash Brothers would all debut at E3 with Kart and the 3D Mario game being playable. And that's just exciting to me because they don't need to tell me much. They just saying they're going to be at E3 and playable is enough for me to go, oh, they're not only are they on the way, but I have something to look forward to at E3.
Well, the funny thing is that's what made everyone so mad at last year's E3. It's like we wanted to hear just the name Zelda, the name Mario Kart, Smash Bros, and then here they are, 6 a.m. in January, they announced it all.
And I mean, the weird part is that last E3 we kind of knew what they were doing coming into it, but knowing that Pikmin and a 2D Mario game are coming, it is such a different thing than Smash Brothers and Mario Kart and Mario.
These are the games that most people bought their systems for.
Yeah.
So just knowing that they are indeed on the way, even though we all knew it, is just a good sign of faith for the system.
It's just weird. There's a difference between me assuming and expecting they're coming, and Iwata getting up in front of a camera going, "Yes, we are making these." So did you think this was enough for Wii U and Nintendo as a whole?
I wasn't expecting anything.
No,
I actually do. I think it's a great sign of faith for people who bought the system or people who were waiting because they hadn't seen enough launch software. The launch was pretty decent as modern launches go, but this is really what the system needed to show that it's got momentum. That it's just like when they revealed the 3DS and they just showed all of these games that were coming within a year or even a couple years. It's just shows you what you can expect as a Wii U owner.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote an editorial about this, and I think that this is an excellent start, and as far as Nintendo representing its own games, this is really good. I think they alluded to that they would be doing this, but they need to show the same kind of support just from third parties and those kind of deals. They also mentioned they were going to do this for 3DS, which is crazy because that system's got such a good support
What else
already.
could they possibly announce?
Yeah, it's really strong already. But I think that Nintendo just needs to keep doing this. They actually, more than any other publisher, I mean, some publishers have blogs and those are great, but Nintendo has started this thing where it just speaks directly to its fans, and it makes us scramble, but it's still kind of cool because we had E3 in January, and who would have ever thought that would have happened? So
it's very Nintendo. They always find their own way to do things, and they've really come into the Nintendo Direct format over the past year, and now it's just how they like to do it.
I have to say, like, in some ways more than any of the games, although I'm certainly excited for Zelda, I just have a lot of respect for Satoru Iwata doing this and not only getting up on stage, of sorts in front of all these people, but just saying, I'm going to speak directly to the fans. I'm going to not only explain why this system is interesting to me and my teams, but why it's going to be exciting for you. And I find it's finally great that Nintendo said this is what you have to look forward to in the months and especially years to come. And that was really, really cool. Any final thoughts?
No.
All right.
Stuff.
For everything Nintendo and all the news that just exploded out there today, keep it tuned to IGN.